Hello friends, Iceberg with Dillon Brothers Motorsports, and today I'm going to take you through a walkthrough of the brand new 2021 Yamaha R3. This is going to be Yamaha's special edition. This is the Monster Energy MotoGP version of the R3. As you can see, the graphics on this motorcycle are an absolute standout. I'm going to run through there. Of course, you have that beautiful Yamaha blue rolling into the black with the Monster Energy logos running down the plastics. I love what Yamaha has done with this motorcycle. This to me gives you that true look and feel of the larger leader bikes without being in that price range or in that displacement. Speaking of displacement, we're going to move to the engine on this R3, where you have the 321cc inline twin on here. This is going to put out plenty of power, especially for your new rider, which these bikes are really kind of geared towards. If you are a new rider or even just a smaller rider looking for something that stands out in the crowd, that gives you all the looks and the handling of a full-size leader bike, but don't necessarily need to go those speeds, and you're just trying to get your bearings about you on a motorcycle, this R3 gives you everything you are looking for. Speaking of the power on this bike, you do have a 6-speed transmission on this motorcycle. This motorcycle will do interstate speeds all day long. You are definitely going to be able to get this up to 70 miles an hour, no problem on this motorcycle. And depending on your height and weight too, it's going to be able to go a little bit faster if you so want. The final drive on this motorcycle is chain. Handling on this bike is fantastic. I myself did take this motorcycle out for a quick rip, and like as you can see, I'm much larger than someone who is normally going to ride this motorcycle, but I felt that the suspension and being able to get aggressive in the corners was spot on this motorcycle. Up front, you have the telescopic front forks, which are going to give you over 5 inches of travel on there, so you really can handle kind of any road that you're on, and as I said, getting aggressive in the corners. And then on the rear, you have the Monocross single shock, which is an adjustable preload, so you can adjust that to your style of riding and weight as well. This does have a passenger pad on it, so this is 2-up ready, so you can also adjust that suspension on the rear for carrying a passenger on this bike. Handling and balance on this bike. So if we move down, let's go ahead and talk the wheels. You have the 17-inch wheels on here. They have the very nice aggressive sport bike tires on here as well. They're very nice and sticky. As I said, when you're kind of going through the corners, you can really feel those tires stick on there. One other thing that's very impressive about this Yamaha R3, you have over a 3.5-gallon gas tank that boasts 56 miles to the gallon. So you are going to get a ton of riding time on this bike before you have to worry about hitting the pumps. And if you are buying this bike and using it as a commute to work, you might fill up once a month on this motorcycle, depending on how far you have to go to work. 2 other things about this R3 that I'd like to mention, especially for your new rider kind of looking at possibly purchasing their first bike. You do have a nice seat height on here. This is going to be 30 inches, so it's kind of your in-between, not too short, but also not too tall. So new riders are going to build that confidence by being able to get both feet firmly planted on the ground. And then the weight on this motorcycle. This motorcycle, fully loaded, ready to go down the road, comes in at 375 pounds. So it is an extremely lightweight bike, which also helps build confidence, especially for new riders. I'd like to wrap up this review by also stating that this motorcycle isn't necessarily just for new riders. This is for any rider who wants that beautiful, sleek leader bike look, but just not necessarily looking at that leader bike price point and or having all that engine power. But for new riders out there, I really feel that if you're swaying more towards the sport bike for your new bike and a first-time rider, the R3 is really an amazing motorcycle that you should take a look at. And if you are local in Omaha, Nebraska, and would like to come out and see this Yamaha R3 MotoGP Monster Energy Drink Edition, please stop out at Dillon Brothers Motorsports today. Come throw a leg over it, talk to any one of our sales guys about it. They have a wealth of knowledge on this motorcycle and any motorcycle on our floor. And as always, from the entire Dillon Brothers Motorsports family, thank you so much for checking out our videos, and always remember, gear up, ride safe. Thanks a lot.